Hi everyone, this is our September block. It's called X's and O's and it's the 9th block in our Block of the Month challenge. Don't forget this is also a bonus month. We have a bonus block number 3 coming a little later this month. If you haven't already joined in the challenge, check for a link in the description under this video. It will take you to my Facebook group where you can find all the blocks. You will find the design space link for this block shared in our Facebook group, but if you happen to be cutting by hand, you'll need two 6.5-inch squares in a medium color fabric, two 6.5-inch squares in a dark fabric, and you'll need 8 3-inch squares from a light color fabric, and you want those to have a diagonal sew line drawn on the back as you see in this photo. So the first thing you're going to do is snowball all your corners so that you end up with this. You place your 3-inch square with the diagonal line over your 6-inch square. You're going to sew from the top to the right. You want to make sure you're sewing in the right direction. If you place it this way, that won't work. You need to be sewing from the top to the right, and then you're going to turn it around and place a second one top to right, so that when you're finished, they're opposite each other. You want to make sure that you've done that. For those of you that are saving these small half square triangles, when you snowball, I've sewn a second line, and as we did last time, I'm just going to cut in between. So the line are about half an inch apart. I'm going to cut in between, so that we have a small leftover half square triangle that we can save for something else. I think some of you have already saved them. And then we press open this corner. I'll just finger press it for now, and I'll go back and press it later. So you're just cutting about a ½ inch from your draw line. Slice it off and press this open. And I've done that for all 6.5-inch squares. This is the first one that I've already completed. So you can see how these will be laid out. This one needs to be pressed, but we'll lay that out. Our second one, our third opposite, so the colors crisscross each other, and our fourth. So you can see that laid out. And when they're all done, you can see that you have the X and you have the O. So if you're using only this pattern in a quilt, an X and O quilt, that's how you get your X and your O. And you would continue on this way right across. So we'll set that one aside. I need to press these. So let's start with my bottom. Oops. I will press that one. Now we're going to sew our 4 squares together. So we're just going to line these up against each other. Make sure that you're nesting your seams. You want to be sure that you're nesting your seams so that you get nice points on them. So be sure that you're nesting your seam. I'm going to stick a pin in it just to hold it in place while I'm sewing. Line this up nice and straight, and I'm going to sew 1/4 inch right along this edge. There we go. Now I'm going to do the same with this one, making sure to nest our points. So I'll press this first so that it lies nice and flat when I do this. And here's our second row, all set. All we have left to do is to join the 2 rows together. So this is quite a simple pattern, but it is cute. It is very fun. You can see that in both cases I've pressed my seams towards my darkest color so that when I assemble the top and the bottom, I'm able to nest my seams. Nesting and pressing are so important to the look of your finished block. To the left and to the right, you don't have to pin, but I usually do throw a pin in just to make sure that I don't move them by accident while I'm starting my seam. And I take the pin out as I get closer to my nesting. So let's get that done and we'll be finished our block. And there we go, our finished block. So you can see when you put them together, we have our X's and our O in the center, and you can continue on like this if you want to do a quilt that's all X's and O. Would be really cute. But if you're joining in on our block of the month and you haven't already started, you can find a link for our sewing group called Stitch It with Cricut. There's a link in the description right under this video, and we'd love to have you join us. So thank you for watching.